Hey, this is Terry with Total Life Pursuit. Today I want to talk to you about rest, sleep, and relaxation. How about that? You know, there's a beauty to sleep. Is there anyone who doesn't like to sleep? I think people that don't sleep well, they don't like to go to sleep. But everybody loves a good sleep, a good rest. It restores the body. It restores the brain. It has a lot of really cool things. But in the 1950s, up till the 1950s, they thought that we just drifted off to a place of unconscious rest, or semi-conscious rest, I should say. And they didn't realize what happened within the body and within the brain. I'm here to tell you a little bit about it. I've got some quotes I'm going to read from several books here that I've gotten out. Okay, you ready? Sleep loss inflicts such devastating effects on the brain, linking it to numerous neurological and psychiatric conditions: Alzheimer's, anxiety, depression, bipolar, suicide, stroke, chronic pain, and on every physiological system of the body, further contributing to the countless disorders and diseases: cancer, diabetes, heart attacks, infertility, weight gain, obesity, immune deficiency. No facet of the body is spared the crippling, noxious harm of sleep loss. We are, as you will see, socially, organizationally, economically, physically, behaviorally, nutritionally, linguistically, cognitively, and emotionally dependent on sleep. Can I end right now? I mean, that's pretty much it, right? You need some sleep. Okay, I have a couple funny things, not funny, but interesting things that I learned. Being up 16 straight hours decreases your performance to a level compared to 0.05 blood alcohol content. That's pretty interesting. Being up 24 hours, you are as impaired as a person with 0.10 blood alcohol content, blood alcohol level. Do you realize that when you go into like the emergency room, that doctor there may have been up for 24 hours? He's operating on the equivalency of a drunk person that would go to jail if he was behind the wheel. That's kind of crazy to think about. How they got there is even a crazier story. I'm not going to get into that. I'll save that for another day. How come sleep's important? Well, I'll tell you what. How about this? You're going to lose weight when you sleep. Sleep's important. Why? Because of the appetite. If you don't sleep right, your appetite isn't right. If you don't sleep enough, you're tired. When you're tired, you tend to crave high carbohydrate foods to give you energy because you need to stay awake because you're tired. Are you with me? I remember one time I had this doctor say, so how long does it take you to fall asleep? I'm like, a red light. If I stop at a red light, that's called sleep deprivation. I was in a constant state of sleep deprivation. When you're awake more hours, you tend to eat more, like late night snacks. The lesser known downfall of a midnight snack is the disrupted production of leptin, the satiation hormone or the full hormone, and ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Leptin is produced in your fat cells and it signals your brain that your full. Ghrelin is produced in your GI tract and triggers appetite. And these hormones need to be in absolute balance. And when you don't sleep enough, they're out of whack. Individuals in a group who obtain 6 hours of sleep at night, something that may sound familiar to a lot of people, 10 days of 6 hours of sleep a night was all it took to become as impaired in performance as going without sleep for 24 hours straight. Let me say that again. For 10 nights straight, if you only sleep 6 hours, obviously this applies to less than 6 hours, you are as impaired as going all night long without sleep. What? Sleep's important. Sleep changes you. God gave us sleep. When participants were asked about their subjective sense of how impaired they were, they constantly underestimated their degree of performance disability. They were miserable at predicting how bad their performance actually was. It's like someone that, is out drinking at the bar and like, hey, should you drive? I'm totally okay. But they're drunk. That's the kind of thing that sleep deprivation does to you. Not only does it make your performance poor, but it doesn't allow you to assess your performance. So, for all the people who sleep 4, 5, 6 hours a night and say, I'm totally fine. No, you're not. You're not totally fine. Your performance is failing, is being mitigated during the day. Sleep has a design to it. So when you fall asleep, you go through 2 light stages of sleeping. And then you go through stage 3 and stage 4 before you get to what we have all heard of, which is REM sleep. Stage 3 and 4, that's when the body repairs muscles and tissues, stimulates growth and development, boosts immune function, and builds up energy for the next day. The REM sleep is where you dream. It's where you have rapid eye movement, you're a little twitchy, that kind of thing. The longer you sleep at night, the deeper your REM cycles and the longer they are. So in other words, your first REM cycle, which is about 90 minutes into your sleep cycle, your first REM cycle can be, 10, 15 minutes. But if you have 6 of them, or let's just say 5 of them, 7.5 hours of sleep, your last REM cycle will be about 30 to 45 minutes of that sleep cycle. The deeper the sleep, the more restorative it is. Plenty of sleep is good. Because what? It'll help you lose weight. But more than that, it repairs your whole body. It sets you up for the next day. It actually helps you study. So if you read something before you go to sleep, your mind is refiling that during the night. Your brain is, I should say. So, how much sleep do you need? That's the big question, right? Well, how much repair of your muscles and your brains and your cells? How much immune function do you want? How much energy for the next day do you want? The more you get, the better off you are. However, there is sleeping too much. Scientists, researchers have said anytime over 9 hours is not good for you. It actually can deter you from production during the day. So my recommendation is 7.5 to 9 hours. We've always heard 8 hours, 7.5. I like 7.5 because it's 5 sleep cycles rather. 9 is 6, and that's good. So sleep renews us, sleep restores us, sleep builds us. It's a gift from God. Look in Proverbs 3:24. When you lie down, you'll not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. In other words, pleasurable. God wants your sleep to be pleasurable. Ecclesiastes 5:12. The sleep of a laborer is sweet, whether he eats little or much. But the abundance of a rich man permits him no sleep. In other words, when you work hard during the day, it sure does feel good to go to bed at night, doesn't it? Psalm 4:8, I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. So you feel comfortable, you feel safe, and you go to sleep. Now we feel pretty safe and pretty comfortable now unless we're going through some kind of emotional thing. So it's not quite like it was in David's day where people actually wanted to kill you all the time and your enemies were invading your land a lot, okay? It's different now. But the reality is we are troubled and anxious about so many things. Whether it's some kind of political deal or a social deal or a relationship deal, we are anxious about so many things. And God says, look, if you put your trust in me, you're going to be able to go to sleep. I don't know, that's a key to sleep. That was free right there. Let me talk to you a little bit about rest. I think we have a hard time resting. I don't think we're good at it. In fact, I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to tell myself, I'm not good at it. I can rest, but not for long. it's kind of hard. It's like, okay, so let's do something. I always feel better when I'm doing something. Well, that's a problem. See, what we call rest isn't rest all the time. We call watching a movie or watching TV or surfing social media and all that stuff resting. Not so. Do you know they've done studies? Like you're in an action movie. Okay, I'm a guy. I like action movie. I admit it. Okay. So I like action movies. And when the guys are, the SEAL team is shooting, or Claude Van Damme, is he in the movies anymore? I don't know. When he's, karateing. Okay. The reality is you have a stress response in your body according to what you're watching. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, that's not rest. That is not rest. So, what is rest? Well, disconnecting from all of that. How about that? How about disconnecting? It's a problem because we're connected. I have kids, okay? And my kids, whether they were dating to get married or whether they were, had a date to wherever, if I let them, when they were 28. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so whatever it is, they're like connected all the time. When I was a kid, you actually had to dial a number and you couldn't talk on the phone all the time because the phone was connected to the wall and you had to go do things. And you didn't call your girlfriend at work. You didn't call them on the way home from work or on the way to the ski trip or anything else. In fact, if you went on a trip, you didn't call your girlfriend. You were disconnected. And no one's disconnected. We have connection all the time. I just said to somebody the other day when they were complaining about this person texting them, I'm like, you don't have to answer that. Just let your phone just sit there. And I'm not saying don't answer important texts. Hi, I'm in the hospital, please call. I'm saying we don't have to text with people and be connected all the time through social media. That's all I'm saying. Because you're going to need to be able to rest at some point. I think we're not comfortable with ourselves. And that's why we have to be doing something or listening to something. There were 11 studies done by the University of Virginia. I found this very interesting. Of 18 to 77-year-old people. The study was, we want you to sit in a room for 16 minutes and think. No phone, no music, no sounds, just think. Do you know that a majority of people in the study hated doing it? Hated it. 16 minutes. I'm not talking about 16 hours. I probably would, have a hard time with 16 hours. I've never gone to one of those monasteries, do a little prayer retreat. I don't know if I could make it. I'd probably just yell. And then I'd get kicked out and I'd be happy. But 16 minutes. Just 16 minutes. Do you know that 54% of the people, check this out, 54% of the people, all of them men, would rather shock themselves, because they had a little shocking device in the room, and they would rather shock themselves to do something rather than sit in silence. I think our culture has an issue. We have an issue being with ourselves. We have an issue relaxing. Relaxing, sometimes referred to as quiet wakefulness. Resting your eyes with your eyes closed can calm your mind even. Giving at least some of your neurons a break, since you're not actively thinking or concentrating on something. And let alone your muscles and organs can relax. It can also reduce stress, improve your mood, increase alertness, mental clarity, creativity, and motivation. All of these changes can enhance your productivity. So if we just took a time out in the middle of the day, I wish someone would give me a time out. Well, actually, my boss gives me timeouts all the time. I never take them. But anyways, that's another story too. But we can just get a little time out. Time out. I'm just going to relax for 5 minutes. Just sit here. Think of nothing, not what I have to do, anything else. I'm not going to think of anything. Maybe I'm going to just think about God and His goodness or something like that. But I'm not going to be actively doing anything. How about that? Can we do that? Could you take like 2 of those breaks a day? I got this little breathe app on my iWatch. It tells me to breathe. And it leads me through, I don't know, like 6 breaths or something like that. And I was trying to do it the other day. I got out of the shower and it was like, hey, you're breathing, how about doing some breathing? And I'm like, that's a good idea. So I press it and I go ahead and I'm getting dressed. And the app keeps quitting. It's like it knows, you're not relaxing, bro. You're doing something and we can tell. So we're gonna quit. And I started it again thinking, what happened to the app? I'm doing my deep breathing, but I wasn't relaxing. So what's the point? We're always trying to be productive. Stop it. Just sit down and breathe for a second. So after I got dressed, I just relaxed and I went, okay, let's just breathe for 1 minute. It's a 1 minute thing I have set up on it. Just 1 minute. Just sit down, calm down, regather yourself before you go out. I don't know why it's hard. To the Greeks, to rest was to cease. Jesus said, come to me, all you are weary and burdened. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 and 30. And I'll give you rest. I'll give you cease. Ceasing. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest or cease for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Jesus thought that giving people rest for their souls was really, really important. And I propose that if your soul is at rest, then your body can be at rest too. I think they go hand in hand personally. And I think research backs that up. Mark chapter 6, verse 31. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, you ever had days like that? He, Jesus, said to them, come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and let's get some rest. Come on, this is so good. Hey, let's go with me. Let's go somewhere so we can just chill out. That's what Jesus said. So, what does it take for you to get refreshed? What refreshes you? What would you have to do? How could you do it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? Well, vacation, that refreshes me, so I load the kids up in the car and I pack for 7 days of fun camping. And then we drive 300 miles and I can only go 55 because I got a trailer. And then after that, I set up camp and by day 3, I'm relaxed. Well, then day 6, I got to pack up everything and come home again. I don't know how productive that is. I think we need a little more European style. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Finally, I want to talk to you quickly about enjoyment. I love enjoying life. But when you never relax, when you never stop, it's pretty tough to do. Deuteronomy says, these are the commands, decrees, chapter 6, verse 1, and laws of the Lord your God directed me to teach you to observe in the land that you're crossing the Jordan to possess, so that you, your children, and their children after them may fear the Lord your God as long as you live by keeping all the decrees and commands that I give to you. Right? And so that you may enjoy long life. That's not just attain long life. That's enjoy the long life that you get. So, it's meant to be enjoyed. God created your life, my life, to be enjoyed. What do you think heaven's going to be like? Pure enjoyment, right? Didn't he start off by creating all of this world perfect and good? And he had something in mind, that we would enjoy life. Now, it's enjoy life with him. And it's not without struggle. Even back then, you had to make fire or, start a fire. That would have been a struggle, but you still would have been enjoying life. Are you with me? Because we think enjoying life is zero struggles. That's not it. Enjoying life is something completely different than that. Nehemiah says in chapter 8, verse 10, go and enjoy choice food and sweet drinks. Did he say sweet drinks? That can't be in the Hebrew. And send some to those who have nothing prepared. Because that's enjoyable, sending drinks and eats to people who don't have it. That's cool. The day is sacred to the Lord. So this day is sacred to the Lord. So this is what he said. Don't grieve. Don't think about you and how you are undeserving. For the joy of the Lord is your strength. The Levites calmed all the people, saying, "Be still, for it's a sacred day, and do not grieve." Then all the people went away to eat and drink and send some portions of food and to celebrate with great joy, because they now understood the words that had been made known to them. They were eating, they were drinking, they were enjoying it, they were enjoying God, they were enjoying each other, they were enjoying the bounty. It's supposed to be enjoyed. It's supposed to be a good deal. You know, we had this project going on here at our church, and it was like 70 cubic yards of mulch had to be transferred from parking lot into the playground. It was a lot of work, but you know what? We did it. It happened. It's all in the playground, and it's enjoyable to look at. You say, yeah, but that was hard work to get it. It's enjoyable to look at. It's enjoyable to be done with it. It's enjoyable, really, to be a part of that made it happen. That is enjoyable. There are things in life, production-wise, that are enjoyable, even though they're work. It's not that work can't be enjoyable, but if you can't have enjoyment outside of work, you got an issue. You got a big issue. If life is all work and no play, then we will not enjoy the bounty. If life is play and all work, we will have no bounty. I think I wrote that. That was me. I quoted myself right there. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 24. A man can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in his work. This too I see is from the hand of God. For without him, who can eat or find enjoyment? The root there for that enjoyment is be glad or joyful with the whole disposition as indicated by its association with the heart. So in other words, all of you is happy and joyful. Ecclesiastes 5:19. Moreover, when God gives any man wealth and possessions, he enables him to enjoy them, to accept his lot, and to be happy in his work. This is a gift of God. So when God gives you blessings, you're supposed to enjoy them. Not like, oh man, I got to manage these blessings. Like, I don't know, children. I digress. The gift of God is for man to consume, have food from his possessions, and God gives us everything to enjoy. Enjoyment can come when you satisfy your cravings. The trick is to align your cravings with God. See, our problem is we have these cravings that aren't from God, and then we try to satisfy ourselves in those cravings, and there's no satisfaction. There's fleeting enjoyment that we can't hold on to. It's when the cravings are from God. Psalm says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you the desires of your heart. Key there, make your desires his desires, and then you get your desires. Does this make sense? All right. Speaking of enjoyment, a priest and a rabbi and a vicar walk into a bar. The barman says, is this some kind of joke? Okay, I got a better one. Sam goes to the doctor for his yearly checkup. Everything is fine, says the doctor. You're doing okay for your age. For your age? For my age? Questioned Sam. I'm only 75. Do you think I'll make it to 80? Well, said the doctor. Do you drink or smoke? No, Sam replied. Do you eat fatty meats or sweets? No, said Sam. I'm very careful about what I eat. How about your activities? Do you engage in thrilling behaviors like speeding or skiing? No, said Sam, taken aback. I would never engage in dangerous activities. Well, said the doctor, then why in the world would you want to live to your 80? Are you with me? I mean, come on, enjoy your life. I'm going to give you the top 10 things I think we are supposed to enjoy, and then I'll close. Material blessings, wisdom, nature, community, food and drink, family, work, children, spouses, and of course, relationship with God. They're all given to us. I know there's more, but those are all given to us for us to enjoy. And when we enjoy things, when we find happiness in these things, it protects our heart. It protects our cardiovascular system. It lowers our blood pressure. Happiness strengthens your immune system, and it lengthens your life. God made happiness to be like a drug to us that is a good deal. How come? Because that's the way we're made, to be happy, to find enjoyment, rest, and sleep. I'm Terry from Total Life Pursuit. See you next time.